There's my approach.
Yes.
A couple of objections.
Like, thank you. Yeah, I don't think the chairs really.
Yeah.
That's where my shoes are.
Judge, can I give this to you?
Yes. Thank you, and also. Thank you.
No.
Definitely go on. You're fine.
Yeah. Really hard. Okay. Once we had to. The sliding. So if you run a little bowl, that's great.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's what. Now you.
I've seen my clients walk in them, and I've never seen anyone do that much.
The little sticker here, you can put, you can maybe, you can walk.
Yeah.
If you walk, you may have been locked.
Yeah. But yeah. The purity. So.
I don't know.
Oh,
Wait,
go.
is it called
You
pint?
would have no regrets about it later.
What is it? Is that a half pint or a
I
pint?
know that's fine.
I'm eating the whole thing.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna salute you as you do that.
The,
I send you a
I
feedback.
put it down. My personal take on their overall take on- Which we felt were- I heard circus was the prettiest thing.
In the main, well, not in the courthouse, not in the county. They could throw you, they could throw you from the. And they will.
Well, they said that they would let each one.
And you go back to the house. You'll be there.
No, they threw everything.
Are you all ready to proceed with sitting down, Mr. Saucedo? Oh, Mr. Saucedo, you too. All right, you can sit at the table. Right, we're on the record in 2019 CR 7466 State of Texas versus Roger Saucedo. Gotta have parties announced.
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas, along with Hank Wilson.
Defense,
Leo Gonzalez and Jessica Gonzalez for Roger Saucedo.
are you Mr. Saucedo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, I want to ask your client some questions so I can make a determination on what conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Saucedo, you're still under oath. Are you employed?
This month,
So how are you supporting yourself?
was working on my house, fixing cars.
How many children do you have?
One,
Age?
2 years old.
Any prior drug use?
No.
And if you're drug tested today, what would the result be?
Clean.
Defense, is there any other questions you want to ask him?
No, Your Honor. I think we've asked that already on during the punishment phase.
All right, and I'm sorry, one more question. How far did you go in school?
Well,
State any questions with regards to this portion?
no,
All right, the jury has found you guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to community supervision?
We asked Your Honor to consider the recommendation from the jury. They were pretty clear that they wanted him to be sentenced no longer than 5 years of probation. They marked it in the verdict form. They included a separate attachment with that indication that they wanted that as the probation term. So we're asking the court to follow that recommendation. We do understand that the court has final say on that, though.
State,
the state would recommend a probation term
I'm sorry.
of 8 years.
All right, the court then is finding you guilty, as the jury has already found you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, $0 fine. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended for 8 years. There should be regular UAs, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Probation will do field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. If there are no issues after 3 months, then field visits can be up to the discretion of probation. Proof of employment. Within 30 days of release. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be waived once you complete parenting classes. Probation, you can make the determination of which parenting classes. The remainder of the 100 hours, you can either pay that off at $7.25 per hour. Or either if you're in some type of trade school or something to better yourself employment wise, then the court will consider waiving the remaining of those community service hours. Do you understand?
That's fine.
Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Defense, is there anything else you will be requesting?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and the court is going to do 60 days in the Bear County Jail as a condition.
And Your Honor, at this time, we just asked if he could do those either on weekends or on house arrest.
They no longer allow for weekends, and the court is not going to allow that for house arrest. I'm showing you what's entitled trial court certification, and you can pass that to me.
I got it.
Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it? All right, you do have a right to appeal if this is not a plea bargaining case. Do you understand? Do you have questions about anything? Any questions from either side before we close the record on this case?
Oh, yeah.
All right, probation will go over conditions with you and let you know where you need to report. And probation, since he's going to be at the jail, would you do a TAP evaluation? And if the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, we're going to start with outpatient treatment. All right, so Mr. Saucedo, there's going to be a TAP evaluation while you're in custody at the jail. If it recommends intensive treatment or if it recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment first. You understand? All right. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right. In this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, let probation know. If you feel that probation is not addressing it, you can always come to the court. You understand?
That's fine.
All right. Good luck to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did they bring the files?
I just went to the Russian. You want Brandon?
Yes.
Here you go.
Mr. Bach, I'm Brandon Wright. All right, my understanding, oh, I told you on this side. My understanding, where's your client, Mr. Wright?
He left when Judge Nahara excused him. He went back to Houston.
You're able to get in touch with him, correct?
Yes.
All right, so how long are you all expecting this trial to last?
40s.
Okay.
When I've seen Mr. Bach in trial, I think it's probably gonna be more like 3. He asked no questions that should not be asked. All right. Ms. Ferguson, 3-day jury trial for Brandon Wright.
Just gonna drop this off. I'll just drop it off.
October 10th. I'm out October. I'm out Friday the 6th. I have a federal sentencing on the 4th. No. Yes. That's fine.
So we'll see you back here on October 30th.
Okay, thank you.
Do you need a reset call or no?
No. Will the court consider appointing me a second chair for the purposes of trial?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Charles, are you ready on the other case?
We're still, I think so. We're still confirmed.
All right, can I see the file on? Oh, Esmeralda Valdez, can I see that file? I know it's coming back tomorrow, but when you look at it, file.
Judge, the paperwork's done and it's sitting up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for a file.
Do you know if they completed jury selection?
They're almost at judge.
Oh.
There's no. And maybe that she can come tomorrow morning at 9 when we need to do her Esmeralda Valdez.
You're gonna go to safety.
Do you have that file? Esmeralda Valdez.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Okay, that's coming back tomorrow. Okay. All right, and then
You all right?
the other files you say are still in the other court. All right, can I see Jorge Macias Castro?
Has Lord Schaefer come by? I'm still waiting for him to come by. You texted him.
I texted him, but he never responded to me.
Let me see all the files that we have remaining.
Well, you're doing two instead of five, so they're.
Yeah.
She told
And
me
then I'll
she was
just-
not.
Just for you.
These are the only ones that are.
Instead of getting out 2 years, you're gonna get out no more than 5 months. That's a pretty big year.
Everything else that I probably.
Sign this. Let's see if we get it on.
All right, this, they're going to take that today. And I'm listening, they said they work back on that. That's coming back tomorrow.
As soon as you get over there, for all the copy of paperwork. Start moving that.
All right. Mr. Montgomery, who are you here for?
Benny Santos, Your Honor, he's in custody.
He was the one who sent you the back, Judge.
Say something I was supposed to hear, Norma.
I think he was one of the ones who sent you back.
Oh.
So, state on Santos, Benny Santos.
Yes.
All right, your client was in the hospital. I'm assuming he's out of the hospital.
If he was sent to impact.
Well, sometimes there's.
Yeah, never know. Those impact guys really want to try cases.
All right, so
How long do you expect this jury trial to last?
3 days, Your Honor.
Counsel? 3
I
days?
would imagine 3 days. I'll tell you that Travis said he was going to re-indict this case. But that hasn't happened yet. We'll see.
Yeah, there was, I think, an issue with. There's another allegation or something he was gonna re-indict with, but.
They
That has not
pre-trialed
happened.
the complainant. I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
Yeah,
They pre-trialed the complainant. Her allegations were not at the same level as the charge. And so when they re-indict it, they'll be re-indicting it for a lesser offense.
all right. I think, well, it was my understanding it was still the same offense, just.
Oh, just a different manner and meaning.
part.
Yeah, exactly.
So who indicted this? Just out of curiosity.
Who indicted it? I don't know.
I promise it wasn't.
It was not Mr. Montgomery or myself.
I'm just wondering because we have something that has been indicted. It's supposed to be going to trial. And now it's going to be re-indicted.
And Your Honor, I can tell you, I'll talk with Travis and decide what the best route is to take before we re-indict it.
All right, Norma, this case, I want to recall in 2 weeks. Something needs to be done.
That's fine. I'll talk to you.
Thanks,
What
John.
date? All right,
First day of school. I'll be here.
okay.
Thanks, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I apologize for being in and out all morning long. I'm still going to other courts. even now.
Okay. And Ethan Byers, Norma, whose client is that?
That's a, compliance. That's the one that was on scene, yeah, so
His,
schedule it.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that one's done.
Oh, it's for, this is the bad eyes.
All right, Norma, who's on Christopher Davis?
That would be me. I believe, yeah, I think he said he had a funeral or a memorial service.
Yes. So Norma, on this case, recall it for next week, because this client is in custody, correct? Recall this for next week so we can see where everyone is. All right, we can put it at August 1st. All right, Jose Diaz. That's Carl Alexander. He's coming back tomorrow, correct? Robert Garcia. That's Christopher Simpkins. He's supposed to be here at at 3:30.
I did contact the Karen Corby. She's asked me if we can give her a call tomorrow, Judge.
But
It's Karen Corby and Mr. Simpkins.
all right, and where's Christopher Simpkins?
I'm trying to get a hold of him.
He's listed. He needs to be here. Jesse Inaho.
He was at.
Who?
Mr. Simpkins.
Okay. And Jonathan Reitmeyer on Jesse Inaho. Oh, it's a motion for continuance. All right, on Inaho, his attorney needs to be here tomorrow at 9 a.m.
In this, just for the court information, in the system, Jesse, you know how it shows for August 8th.
All right, why is it on the docket today?
This is what's me from Bexar.
Oh, okay.
Well, why is he not here?
Yeah, I think
He had a federal.
I think he
something.
approached yesterday, was he? Did he come in yesterday?
He came in yesterday.
And you told him that to come back.
Yeah, because this case is set for August 8th, so he's supposed to be here today. So he's coming back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Damian Huff. Yes, he's supposed to be here at 3:30. Tony Kaplan. All right, that's for a motion to withdraw. His attorney is not present. And Norma, on Tony Kaplan,
Yes, sir.
there's no need to have a hearing on the motion to withdraw until he's picked up.
There's that motion.
Is Tony Kaplan in custody? Okay. All right, so there's no need to call this for that motion until he's picked up. All right, who's on Francisco Luna? That's Lorraine Efron.
Yeah, she had came in yesterday and talked to you about it, Judge.
Yes, she said she would stop by though. All right, on Jorge Macias Castro. That's George Schaefer. Is he coming back tomorrow?
I haven't heard from him, but no.
He hasn't texted me back with it.
All right, we'll see him back tomorrow. Robert Smith.
You're currently conferring on that.
Oh, you're all confirmed. Okay. All right, and Mr. Huff, we're trying to locate your attorney.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Your honors.
No.
Oh, good. We'll take any of your people. I like it. He knows everything. There's something.
Which is funny.
Instead of moving one for, get one for sure, and one everything, let's make two for sure, one everything from new.
I don't know if there was an issue.
Amia Cooper?
No,
No.
I don't have that. She's in the middle, I'm on.
Yes. Mr. Bond, thank you for coming down.
Yes, Judge. Happy to help.
Let me just find something. Yes. She's on deferred, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, the court is calling 2015 CR 11815W, State of Texas versus Amia Cooper. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
defense?
Charles Bunt for Miss Cooper.
And are you Miss Cooper? All right, Miss Cooper, well, before we do that, Mr. Bonk, you are appointed to represent Miss Cooper today, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Have you had ample time to review the allegations in the motion?
I have, and we're waiving our preparations.
All right, Ms. Cooper, do you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for a hearing on this matter? You need to say yes or no. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand your attorney is waiving that right and he's asking to proceed now? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any objection to proceeding with this now?
No, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Amia Cooper who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2015 CR 11815W for the offense of promotion of prostitution of a person younger than 18 years and placed on probation on January 25th, 2016 for a period of 5 years and extended for 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violated condition number 2 on or about the 25th day of July 2023 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Amia Cooper, did in there legally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamines, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Okay, here's the
Not
thing.
really.
I can't hear you. You're gonna have to speak up. You can't be whispering because I know when you're in public, you don't whisper. So how do you plead to a violation of condition number 2 that's just been read by the state? True or not true?
It's true.
We'll
State.
waive the remaining violated conditions, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
It is to adjudicate guilt or revoke the individual off her probation and is sentenced her to 2 years in TDC.
Is that the agreement?
That is our agreement, Judge.
Ms. Cooper, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
I cannot
Yes.
hear you. All right. The court will follow your agreement, find you guilty, grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served.
Just for the record, Judge, I've been told by the court staff and the probation department, she has 576 days credit that we're asking to receive.
Robert, yeah,
Yes.
needs time for her state ed status and state ISF.
All right. Were those successfully completed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I'll give her credit for any time and inpatient treatment. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what a weapon or need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I understand the issues that you've had in your life, but at some point in time, you are going to have to start making better decisions, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in and out of prison and back to the same place that you were before. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have a significant other or somebody in your relationship who wants you to do things that are not for your best, then you need to drop them, because they mean you no good. And I don't know if what I'm telling you is sinking in or not, but if you have a boyfriend out there who's making you do things or wants you to do things for fast and easy money, then guess what? That is not the person for you. And you're going to have to stop using drugs, because otherwise what you had in your system today, that could be the last time you use. And then guess what? There would be somebody dead in Bexar County or somebody dead in a field, and they'd be trying to identify the body. Then somebody would identify the body, and it may be you. Don't be that person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. We may excuse.
You may be excused. Thank you so much. Norma, have you figured out Jacob Cortez? That's the case that we need to get a date on.
The treats you've been tricks.
It's the defense attorney who's on vacation, and the defendant is in custody in Medina County. All right, so if you can, when you get a chance, if you can look that up. All right. Attorney, I'm Robert Garcia. That's Simpkins. And you're saying he's ill? Oh, well, we gotta let him have time at the funeral. All right, do we know whose funeral? All right, because I mean, if it's a close person, you need recovery time. I don't want. All right, we'll recall this. Is this client in custody?
Yes.
All right, we'll recall it for tomorrow and see where we are. Because his client is in custody.
Are you gonna have skewers for the new? Yeah. I was like, that makes sense.
All right.
Judge, I think criminal trial is done. So
Oh, Mr. Damian Xerxes Huff does not belong to you all.
I don't believe so.
There's a Luna who has a, oh, this is not you. This is Lorraine Efron, and it's a writ.
Oh, okay.
I think you all are done.
All right. I'll see.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. All right, we have Juan Tehran, Robert Smith. All right. And Stacy, you're doing Robert Smith, correct, too? All right. So these are done. Who's on Juan Tehran?
He's in trial somewhere else. I think that's what ended up happening. We don't know their laws.
All right, Norma, on Juan Tehran. Since we're going to be in trial. See if you can recall this. at 9 a.m. on Friday, so we can figure out when to reset this? Yes. Because I know you all said Thursday is booked. Sorry, did I dump that?
Maybe that was something simple.
All right, Manuel Rodriguez.
That was 6 years ago. So a while ago, but still. Yeah, let me ask him about them. Let me ask him.
I never know if I'm supposed to.
You're right there. Your client's in the center.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this was scheduled at 9 a.m. for jury trial. Where were you?
I was in the 227th, Your Honor, in a special setting, which I did notify your court about a few weeks ago yesterday.
Did that go to jury trial?
There was a panel in the hall when the state dismissed it and I came immediately here.
Okay, and when did they dismiss it?
I believe it was around 11:15 today. I'm not sure exactly. I would like, I don't know if we're on the record or not, because most of we are. The court to know as well. I did talk to Ms. Mitchell last week and again last night because she did indicate she was re-indicting this one because there was an issue with the indictment. And I did try to call and talk to Norma, and I talked to some lovely people on the court staff in the back. And I let them know that.
I like you threw in the adjective, lovely people.
They were really, really kind. And I said, I just want to make sure I did not get crossways with anyone, Your Honor, because that was important to me. And I had several cases out of county as well, but the other one I had out-of-state doctors as witnesses that have flown in from California to testify. And I was told to be there first. So I was there and I immediately went up to Natalia and I said, can you please make sure they know I'm right here? Because I don't want anyone to be in trouble. My client was here. And my understanding as of last night was that she was going to re-indict, which would indeed induce like a 10-day period.
Has this been indicted?
It was re-indicted.
All right, if you will make sure they have a copy of the indictment.
And
Miss-
I believe she took a picture of it earlier.
I did when I came, right when I came from the other courtroom. Yes, Your Honor, I did take a picture of it.
Oh, if you want, we'll make a copy for you.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Your
Okay.
Honor.
And Ms. Ferguson, I need this recall for jury trial in 10 days.
And Your Honor, I would like to say, the reason for the re-indictment was, this was very much a case we wanted to try today. But as the court knows, continuous sexual abuse of a child requires that they are under the age of 14. And the dates that were on the previous indictment would have made her 16 years old. So I had.
And I know you're not the person who indicted this.
I am not. But I
And
know
I was very bummed that she figured it out, but she did judge it yesterday. That was a big bummer for everyone, but she did. So
and I know we have a trial docket on August 8th that is pretty full. I also know this court has impact the week of August 21st, and we'd be willing to go that week because the complainant has been waiting a very long time on this case, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. And this case needs to be number 1.
Judge, you can do the 21st or the August 8th, whichever one.
if the 21st is acceptable, that would be helpful to me just because my children start school the week before, but whatever the court orders, I'll be here. And I do have Ms. Shaki Ramirez, who's also an attorney, and Xiomara Martinez, who got her student bar card 2 weeks ago, and they
Oh,
are here
congratulations.
and ready to go.
All right. So are both of them going to be, I know the student bar card, they can practice under other attorneys, but are you going to be added as retained counsel as well?
Miss Ramirez will be, yes, Your Honor. She does have an appointment on Thursday because she's pregnant with her firstborn. So she might be on bed rest. So that could change everything this week. That's why I asked for a little bit longer. But yes, Your Honor, she is, her and I will be trying this case. That's our goal.
All right. So,
Or if I'm busy, then she will try it and we'll make sure that it gets tried because I heard the court that needs to go and my client's ready.
so both parties are agreeing to August 21st.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going on the record.
Yes, understood, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2021 CR 8884. And if I could see the new cause number, please. Could I have parties answer for the record under cause number 2021 CR 8884, State of Texas versus Manuel Rodriguez, please, for the state,
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
for the defense?
Lee Cutter, Holly Shockey Ramirez, and Ziomara Martinez, student attorney under my supervision for Manuel Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, Judge.
So state, it's the court's understanding that under cause number 2021 CR 8884, are you dismissing that and re-indicting?
We will be dismissing it. I'm waiting for the bond conditions to transfer over to the new cause number before I dismiss it.
All right, so the new cause number in this case then, well, not really new cause number, but this case is being re-indicted under 2023 CR 6330. Is that correct?
Correct.
Defense, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And defense, you're going to receive a copy of that indictment today?
Yes.
All right. And my understanding is both parties have agreed to a jury trial date of August 21st. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct from the defense, Your Honor. And I believe I heard we're in the impact court. I'm just want to make sure we report to the right place at the right time. And we are number one. That's my understanding.
Is that correct? All right, so you all will be number one. And Norma, are we?
Yes. Impact court, presiding.
We're presiding? Yay, that means that we will go. All right, so it will definitely go and we'll let them know that you all are to be first. So Mr. Rodriguez, that will be, unless something happens, that will be the day that you go to trial. Okay? Is there anything else from either side?
Your Honor, I don't know if you would like a written motion, but because we are under a new cause number, I would just ask for all the previous motions and notices that were filed under the 2021 CR to be adopted under the new.
All right,
case.
this is what we'll do. We're coming back for jury trial on August 21st. But I will bring you all back for this, for everybody to file their motions on July. Norma, can we do July 31st if they have motions? July 31st.
Okay.
And so state, whatever you want adopted, you need to have filed it.
At 11.
Why do you say 11?
I'm saying.
11. Yes,
So we should all be here at 11 o'clock.
11 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
No excuses.
Okay.
I've got plenty of capable lawyers if I can't do it, and I will make sure we're here.
All right.
Should be the defendant present that day.
Yes. All right, we can go off the record. So if people are not here at 11, this is what I'm going to do. Because sometimes judges punish people. So what I will do is I will make you all come back here on Saturday to hear this. And Diana, you can appear by Zoom on Saturday. And I will make them appear in court on Saturday. And I will tell everybody, they turn off the AC on the weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will be from my home by Zoom. Norma, you will be by Zoom. And you all will be here in the courthouse
Yes, ma'am.
on Saturday. All right, Norma, if you give them a reset form for the end of July 30, for July 31st at 11. All right,
Yes, ma'am.
thanks for dressing appropriate for court. You always do, though. All right, see you all then.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes. You want your sweater back?
So is it 11 or 11:30?
You need your sweater back?
Judge, Mr. McCullough had questions in regards to he can't reside at a household any minors. He is currently on parole and he has been paroled at the residence with at his, I'm assuming his parents' residence, but his brothers live there and they are minors.
That looks like.
16.
Is he doing a child evaluation?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. Is there any way probation to go out and see how old the children are? Or to get in contact to see what the living arrangements is? Is that possible?
Yes.
All right, we can do that. And if probation goes out there, and probation says there are no safety valves in place, then I would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody. Okay.
All right, so we just have Damian and Robert Smith. Oh, no, no. You're so welcome. And if you have any questions about anything, let us know. But I will tell you, the last person who was here, the female who was there, she was dressed in her. So Sean gave her sweater. I don't think Sean is gonna get that sweater back. Sean, are you gonna? Do you want that one back?
That was one of my favorite sweaters.
No, we can get it back. Do you want it back?
Yes, she does. I can get it.
All right, if you could give her sweater back.
May I introduce my other law student to you? That's here. Why I a whole plethora this morning. We didn't know where we were going. This is Victoria Santos. She's starting your second year. Third year. Wow.
Welcome. You're always welcome to stop by here anytime.
Thank you.
And we always have different interns popping in and popping out. So feel free to come in at any time.
She actually knew that your court was live streamed and told my office that. Okay. So she was familiar and I said, come on, just go and sit in. You'll learn a lot. So this is a nice place to be.
Come by anytime.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
So here's my question. Is this gonna be a situation, because I always think of movies. Is the student attorney gonna pop up and say, let me do this?
I hope she does. She is Puerto Rican and she is full of vibrance. And I did tell her, I said, you're gonna help me pick a jury on 2 cases today, 2 first-degree felonies, and she was ready to go.
It's awesome.
She hasn't slept probably in 2 days, so.
No sleep, but it's been fun.
I always tell people, when you have people who are in law school, or you have people who are recently licensed, they know more law than anybody
Will
else.
ever know.
And other attorneys who've been out for a long time, because you have so many cases that are coming in, you don't get a chance sometimes to study every little thing. And when you have brand new attorneys, people always say, I can't believe that brand new attorney is trying that little felony. But they've changed the rules now, so you can't. But when you're brand new, they go over everything with a fine tooth comb. Like, no, I gotta make sure this, and you're up and thinking about it all night. And older attorneys still do think about it all night, but if there's a blade of grass there, we gotta deal with all this grass. For blade of grass, you're gonna have to wait. We gotta deal with it. So it's always awesome to see. It's always awesome to see new attorneys coming out.
Judge, I have to brag on Holly. Holly and I've known her since I was 18 years old. We were sorority sisters.
Oh, wow.
She was valedictorian of Baylor Law School.
Oh,
last year.
hey.
She is incredibly smart. So she's technically a new lawyer, although we're the same age. And
Oh, wow.
pregnant, and she was like,
Congratulations.
"All right, we're gonna just come in and we're gonna do this, Lee. We're ready to go." And she is fabulous. So I said, I'm really excited to work with all three of these women. They're wonderful.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
They teach me a lot.
Oh, that's
I agree with you.
fantastic. And I'm glad you have a lot of new attorneys and student attorneys so that you can mentor them. You guys are going to learn a lot from both of them.
Learned a lot.
And then be in trial. It's like, let's go, you're in trial.
She's right. That blade of grass is the one thing that just dies one day. And you're like, oh gosh, how did you do that? So,
Oh, yeah, it is. And it's great when you have other people sitting with you because sometimes you're focused on the big picture. I was telling her yesterday, sometimes people forget to invoke the rule because you're concentrated on other things. And then somebody who's sitting with you will nudge and say, invoke the rule, invoke. You're like, oh, okay. Because you're thinking of all these other things and everything is racing. And sometimes the small details, you're not dealing with those.
Can I actually offer your exhibit?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah.
Not here.
Yeah.
Where you went to law school?
Oh, of course, everybody here goes to St. Mary's.
sorry, Baylor.
Sorry, we still like you. I still like you, even though you're not an LSU Tiger, but that's okay.
He's an Aggie judge, just
Yeah.
like me. So
Well, the reason I went to Baylor was because when Lee was in law school, one of her friends told me that if you're going up against someone from Baylor, you want to settle, you don't want to make it to court. And I was like, I'm gonna intimidate people just by wearing a school.
That is so awesome.
she did. You doubled down for sure.
Well, I hate you guys are going to be an impact and not up here with us, but in this court, we always switch which side goes to impact court and which side is here. So you guys will be an impact because criminal trial division will just have finished with impact. Because otherwise it would be great to have you all in trial.
I would enjoy that too, Judge. But y'all can always come in here, really, or just watch on Zoom. You should. It's a
Sure.
good place to learn.
And like I say, anytime you want to come in, just come on in and we'll go from there.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, just 1 second. Deputy Laura. Oh, yeah. If you're going to practice criminal law, you need to see what happens in the back.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Actually, this is very good. I learn this now.
And
It's very painful.
Caroline. Oh.
Yes, I just looked back and looked. Yes, I did.
I always want people to have tours of jails, tours of the holding cells, so that they'll know if you're practicing this, your client may end up back there, your client may end up in a holding cell. Of course, you don't get the full feeling of how it feels because you know you're going to be released, but at least you have some sort of idea. And I'm always concerned about the quality of life at jails, at prisons, because even though somebody's been sentenced, even if somebody's sentenced to life in prison, people are still human beings. They still deserve to have clean sheets. I remember one time there was an outbreak at the jail and it was like the brown recluse spider and everybody was getting bit at the jail. And one of somebody's client, they ended up having to remove part of their flesh. And that person ended up with a hole about this side and it was very deep because of the spider.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
You all should have went in the back.
Judge, I had said this before today, but I forgot to put it on the docket.
Which?
Email, Renee Munoz. I don't know if he got my email on it, but I forgot to put it on the docket.
Okay.
It's just a violation of work. So
Okay.
you want me to set it for? what? Thursday?
Yes,
Try to
that's
fit it in
fine.
for Thursday?
Mhm. Yeah.
Sorry.
Dot, are you in your own little world? We are so close to being done today. We are this close. Well, they say so close, but so far. So when does school start back for you? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if you ever need anything for somebody to write and say that you were here, just let me know.
Yes.
Okay. You're so welcome. Oh. Mhm. Oh, well, let me know. Well, we're actually going to have something on Friday at noon for one of the interpreters because she is leaving. She's going to be in federal court now. So if you want to stop by Friday at noon, we're going to do a little something for her. Okay, you're welcome. All right, so everyone, where are we on these two cases?
Robert Smith, we're still concurrent, Your Honor.
And then Damian Huff.
Damian Huff, I gave him an offer.
Okay, so they're outside discussing?
Yes.
Okay.
So Judge, what do you want to do with Lorraine's advice? Or Lorraine's right?
All right, so when is she going to be available? Because I know her problem was they had something more they needed to file. All right, reset this. Norma 4. Reset this in August, but let the parties know that if they want it heard sooner, they can come in sooner. Yes, so if you can put it maybe the week. You want to put it the week of August 21st or August 28th? What is happening August 21st? No, my brother's birthday is August 18th. Which it appears that I will not be able to go home for that.
Yeah.
I'm still working on trying to do that, but there's an issue with finding a visiting judge. So I'm still going to try to work on getting a visiting judge. We shall see. 21st?
They'll give them a little card that kind of says you read and probably just say it or whatever. But I guess we don't know if they need to do that. So it sounds like all right. So that's that one. I don't know.
And then we just have Robert Smith and Xerxes.
He was
I can't hold it. I've never been to person today.
So having a warrant, and then take them until that's cleared.
Okay. Yeah, the warrant went out. Right, and it was us, like, right after that. Yes, right, as soon as that got done.
Sure.
Oh, thank you so much.
But did you like your sweater? Oh, Norma, can you? Yeah, can you mute us for a moment? Smith, if you come forward. I'll say, what's the outstanding discovery?
He had been, the issue was that he had been reporting to Castroville
Mhm.
and at some point had moved to San Antonio.
Mhm.
And defense counsel has given me their argument. And so I think there should be some kind of paper trail in Castroville and then trying to find that.
All right, how much time are you all asking for discovery?
Just a normal reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have 30 days on Robert Smith for discovery? All right, August 29th, if you'll give them a reset form. All right, and what is happening with Mr. Xerxes?
Your Honor, simply.
All right, thank you. All right.
Are we excused?
After he signs the reset
Go ahead and
form.
have a seat.
All right.
Just give us one moment. Yes. Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna go.
Yes.
So this is our final case for today. And so in this court, I know other courts don't do it, but I try to make sure where I can that everyone has a pleasant work environment. So we usually have a luncheon about every 3 months. And it's to see where there can be improvements, where things can go smoothly. And one of the things to help everybody, to help defense attorneys and prosecutors be ready for their cases. In this court, I try not to have attorneys in court on Fridays, unless of course we're in jury trial. Otherwise, I try not to let them have court on Fridays. Now, I'm still here on Fridays because people come in with bonds, that type of thing. Oh, I forgot. Just 1 second. I put the wrong date in here.
You have no paper?
Yes.
You need some?
Yeah, just about maybe the plea.
Well, I guess. And so for this case, he's entering a plea. Once his attorney goes over all of the plea paperwork, then he will be sworn in, and then we'll take the plea. And then this will be our last case for today. You're welcome. Okay, but Sean, have you seen that they've been showing the residual checks that people receive for acting?
Ridiculous.
Okay, I always thought, yes.
No, I haven't seen.
Okay, I always thought their checks were at least $20. There are some people, their residuals are 2 cents. The guy who plays on Abbott Elementary as the janitor, he got a check, and you know how much it was for? 2 cents. It costs more to print it on the paper. I would just call them and say, hey, look, can you just say my 2 cents? And if I see you, I'll pick it up.
I know, it's like, what's the point in even like depositing the check?
Yes. Yeah, what did they do?
They cut the trees that they were using as shade, and they're gonna get fined by the city because even though those trees are there, like by their property, it's not their property, and they have to have permits when to cut the trees and during the season. And they were trying to say that no, they didn't do it to make sure that there was no protesting going on out there. But one, it's not during the season to trim the trees. And 2, they didn't have a permit, and they like cut them bare.
Oh, man.
Bare. Yeah. Awesome.
I think Damien Xerxes stuff looks like that lead singer from Linkin Park.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to think on that.
I didn't realize he was our defendant. I saw him earlier and I was like.
Well, you know what, came across a feed for me, on YouTube? Janet Jackson's All Right video. If you go back and look at some of Janet Jackson's videos or when she performs, the choreography is extremely tight. And you're just, wow. Everybody should be thanking Janet Jackson's for her moves. Because you saw, what is the one? I love that song. I think it's called Together Again. That's one of my favorite songs. And if you look at the choreography for that song, you are just, wow. And it has to be very tight. Other people, choreography is not that tight. It's like, oh, freestyle.
Yeah, Janet killed it.
Mhm. I know you're very young. Did you ever see any of Janet Jackson videos?
I did. I want to say the person who's probably.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they just settled the suit on Walker, Texas Ranger.
There was a suit on.
Yes, he said he was owed $30 million.
I know what they paid him.
It's private, confidential. But I will tell you, you know why I really didn't watch Walker, Texas Ranger growing up? Because during that time frame, they would do different series. And I know you're young, you don't remember when they would have miniseries. And then if the miniseries did well, they would make it into a show. So there was this series called Raven that was out. And they did away with it. And next thing I know, they replaced it with Walker, Texas Ranger. So I could never forgive them for that.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, it was starring Jeffrey Meeks. He was a martial artist with, I think, the Yakuza. And his child was stolen. So he was searching for his child. How are you going to end a series and you never let us know if he found his child? Mm-hmm. I am not eating chocolate. I'm on my diet. I'm fighting temptation. Okay, Fashawn, I'm still waiting for feedback from the author to see if she's gonna bless us with her presence. But I couldn't get over Jamisa. Jamisa is so funny. She said it was too intense for her to listen to it while she's driving. Mhm.
Dawn, I just in your courtroom. Yeah, y'all had a party without me.
I couldn't find a bookmark yesterday.
Mhm.
This is what I found though. It's a picture of my son when he was 3 years.
Oh, he's such a cutie pie.
Isn't he cute?
He is. And you know, somebody was posting photos of their daughter graduating from high school. And she said now in high school, they have them doing these photo shoots. It's not even, you know, the one with your cap and gown, the one where you're sitting on a bale of hay. I think everybody had those. And then you had the one where you had the feather boa. I don't even know why they did the boa thing. They don't do those anymore. Now it's a photo shoot.
So fast too.
Mhm. So how are you enjoying school?
I like it. It's not as stressful as I thought it'd be. I guess.
Mhm.
I like the schedule more as
Mhm.
whereas like in high school, so you're there all day. If I get work, it's my-
Mhm.
so I like that. I don't have all- I guess. I don't have more to do in the evening because I've already done most of it.
That's awesome. So what are you studying?
Criminology. I'm majoring in criminology. Minor in substance. And I'm just invited to the honors club this semester, so I'm gonna try that out and see how it works. I'm in a training 1 credit class right now, not right now, but this semester to see if I like it. And then start.
So what do you all do in the honors college?
Yes, I don't have a, I guess, full understanding yet, but I know we take part of classes, but not all of them. I used to think that you get enrolled in the same classes as an honors level. You have to pick certain classes that they offer. So there's that, and then you have to write a senior thesis. So between this year and my senior year, I'm gonna be taking these 1 credit classes where I look up research and data. I look up and I research things that I want to use for my thesis, and then my senior year I'll write.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
No, I remember when everybody had to do their thesis, they were just like, no.
Yes.
I will tell you, when I was an undergrad, as I was graduating in so we're not gonna mention it's in the 80s. As I was graduating, they were just starting this new thing where you had to pass an exam, even though you had passed all your classes, to actually graduate, you had to take another test. And they came to me and they came to all of us. They said, well, you know, this won't count for you all. We're just doing this test. So just to try it out.
Yeah.
And they said, Stephanie, you want to take this test just to try it out? I'm like, no, thank you. I don't need to try this out.
Yes.
But after that year, I graduated after that, everyone had to take another test, even though you had taken all your courses and eligible for your degree. They're like, no. Mhm. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I never took the test because I told him, no, thank you. You know, because here's one of my pet peeves about the proficiency. If you have good teachers and if you take a class and you pass that class, then to me, hopefully that teacher has really taught me what I'm supposed to learn. And this grade signifies that I've mastered it. Because to me, because I took we didn't call them AP courses. What did we call them when I was going to high school? It was enriched courses. That's what they called them. They didn't call them anything else. So I took all enriched courses. The only thing that wasn't enriched that I had was PE, and I had to take that because for a while I was on the basketball team. And honestly, I was close to saying, I don't want to do this because I'm not getting higher scores because it's not an enriched class. So I always knew what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. So when I was in high school, I was looking at the points for everything. So I ended up being president of the physics club, the chemistry club, the French club, student government. And people would say, Stephanie, what are y'all doing in the chemistry club? I'm like, experiments. What are you doing in the physics club? Experiments. And we had a math club, and I was in the math club, but I couldn't be the president or anything of that because it was just too much. But yeah, So I loved it. And then after that, then to college. And what I quickly learned after my first semester, I learned that the more courses I took, the less it would cost. Because when I went to school, if you took above 12 hours a semester, everything after that 12 hours was free. So when I was in high school, you had 6 classes and it was 6 classes a day. So my thinking was, college, it's Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so I was saying, I'm gonna take 24 hours. So I started taking 24 hours a semester. And then I would take 14 to 12 over the summer so that I could get out faster because it was cheaper. Because the cost of hours per classes, it was starting to get high. And I know other people who went to college, they were paying $100 an hour or $200 an hour. Oh, to go back to those days, right? So somebody said, that's the quickest way to get out.
Yes.
And so I did.
I know Howard because but I think
Okay.
that's not my.
Okay.
Anything over 12 is the same.
So are you getting involved, any extracurricular activities or not yet?
I tried out for a bunch of miscellaneous things.
Mhm.
But the only things I guess I really got into
Yeah. Mhm.
But there's that, and I was in art, although I did art.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I tried out for a CHS. It was like a dorm dance. I tried out for that. I tried out for a modeling. I tried out for volleyball, but it wasn't real volleyball. It was
Yeah.
like a club.
Mhm.
Yes, and I tried out for a lot. But people say
Oh, yes. That's what I would always tell people. Sometimes it's smoozing. Who do you know? But sometimes that's good. Be your own leader. That's what I say. All right. Have they finished with the paperwork?
They were in that witness room.
All right. Because somebody knock on the door and see if they're done, because otherwise they can come back tomorrow. It's almost 5 o'clock. This is anti-Festivus. So
This is the antithesis.
So we have a rule that we work through lunch and then we are out of here by 1:30. Of course, everybody goes upstairs. They're still working on things. Probation is still working on things. I'm in the back working on things. No, tell them they can come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. exactly. So everyone agreed that we will work through lunch and that we'd leave by 1:30, because this is what ended up happening. Everybody realized that I would always be here by about 8:30 and I didn't leave till 5:30. So you know what ended up happening? Attorneys would show up at 4:30 instead of 9. Oh, and they go to every other court but this one. So we had to stop that because otherwise we would be here all day. Yeah. So are you? Yes.
Okay.
All right. Because you all are not done, correct?
No, Your Honor, we still got to go over the rights and waivers that we got.
All right. So 9 a.m. So we're going to take up his plea tomorrow at 9 a.m. You're welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. Tell your mom I said hi. Tell